The stars shone brightly above the spaceship Endeavor. Inside, Marcus sat quietly in the pilot's seat. He looked out the window at the strange new world ahead. The planet was bigger than Earth and covered in purple and green forests. It was beautiful but unknown. Marcus was a warrior. He had trained his whole life to protect Earth from dangers in space. Now he was part of a special mission. The leaders of Earth sent a team to explore this alien world. They wanted to learn about the creatures that lived there and find out if they were friends or enemies. The ship landed smoothly on soft ground. The air smelled different but fresh. Outside, tall trees moved gently in the wind. Marcus's team stepped out, wearing their armor and carrying their weapons. They moved carefully, knowing this planet might be dangerous. Suddenly, a soft light appeared in front of them. It was a woman, but she was not like any human. She was very tall, with blue skin that shimmered in the sunlight. Her eyes glowed like stars. She wore a crown made of shining crystals. It was clear she was important. The team froze. Marcus stepped forward slowly. The woman smiled and spoke in a calm voice. "I need him." Her words shocked everyone. The team looked at Marcus. He felt a strange chill in his body. Why did this alien queen say she needed him? What did she want from a human warrior? The queen moved closer. "You, Marcus, you are the one we need." Marcus's commander, Captain Lee, stepped forward. "Why do you need him?" she asked. "What power does he have that you want?" The queen looked at Marcus with strange eyes. "Your kind is special. You have a fire inside, a strength we do not understand. Our world is in danger, and only he can help us." The team whispered among themselves. No one knew what to say. Marcus felt nervous but also curious. He had always believed humans were strong, but this was different. An alien queen was asking for him, alone. Suddenly, the ground shook. A loud roar came from the forest. The team turned to see huge, shadowy creatures moving between the trees. They looked like monsters with sharp teeth and claws. The queen raised her hand. A shield of light appeared around them. The creatures stopped and growled but did not come closer. "We call them the Ravagers," the queen said. "They destroy everything. We have fought them for many years, but now they grow stronger." Marcus looked at the queen. "How can I help?" he asked. "You must come with me," she said. "There is much to show you. You will learn why you are needed here." Marcus looked at his team. Captain Lee nodded. "Be careful, Marcus. We will watch and be ready to help." Marcus followed the queen. She walked gracefully through the forest. As they moved, strange animals peeked from behind the trees. Some looked scared, others curious. The queen stopped at a tall building made of crystal. It sparkled like a diamond in the sun. "This is our palace," she said. "But soon it may be destroyed if the Ravagers keep attacking." Inside, the palace was filled with light and strange machines. Marcus felt out of place but tried to stay strong. The queen led him to a room with a large map of the planet. "Look here," she said, pointing to red dots on the map. "These are places the Ravagers have attacked. Our warriors fight hard, but they cannot stop the destruction." Marcus studied the map. The red dots covered large parts of the planet. "Your people are in great danger," he said. "Yes," the queen replied. "And you, Marcus, have something special, a power to unite and protect. We must find out what that is." Marcus felt a weight on his shoulders. He was just a soldier, trained to fight and protect. But this was more. The queen believed he was a key to saving her people. That night, Marcus could not sleep. He looked out the palace window at the strange stars. He thought about Earth, his family, and his mission. He wondered if he was ready for what was coming. The queen visited him before dawn. She brought a small, glowing crystal. "This is a gift," she said. It will help you understand your power. Marcus took the crystal. It felt warm in his hand. Suddenly, images flashed in his mind. Visions of battles, of fire and light, of hope. The queen smiled. Rest now, warrior. Tomorrow, your journey begins. Marcus lay back and closed his eyes. He felt a new strength inside him, but also a great responsibility. The alien world was beautiful, but full of danger. The queen had chosen him. Now, he had to prove why. The first light of dawn spread across the alien sky, painting it with shades of orange and silver. Marcus woke to the sound of soft chimes echoing through the crystal palace. He sat up and noticed the glowing crystal the queen had given him still resting in his palm. It pulsed gently, almost as if it was alive. He dressed quickly and stepped outside his room. Alien guards in silver armor stood in the hallway, their faces calm but alert. One of them, taller than the rest, nodded politely and said, "The queen awaits you in the Hall of Spirits." Marcus followed. The palace hallways were lined with floating orbs of light. Strange plants grew inside glass tubes, their leaves glowing faintly. The air was fresh, but carried a scent Marcus could not name. When he entered the Hall of Spirits, the alien queen was already there. She stood before a large circular table, its surface made of shifting patterns of light. Around her were elders, alien advisors with wise, sharp eyes. "Marcus," the queen said softly, "we begin today." He stepped forward. "What do you want me to do?" The queen motioned to the glowing table. "This is the history of my people. We were once peaceful and strong, but the Ravagers came from beyond the dark stars. They destroy not just with claws, but by breaking the will of those they attack." The table shifted, showing images of battles. Marcus saw alien cities burning, warriors falling, and creatures larger than any tank he had ever seen. "They cannot break our spirit completely," the queen continued, "but they have made us afraid, and fear spreads faster than fire." Marcus nodded slowly. "And you think I can change that?" The queen's glowing eyes met his. "Humans are strange. You fight even when the battle is hopeless. You stand even when there is no chance of victory. That spirit is what we need." Marcus didn't answer immediately. Back on Earth, he had been taught that courage was a soldier's duty, but here it was more than duty. It was a weapon. One of the elders stepped forward. "We have studied your history, human warrior. You fought in battles against enemies, stronger than you. You refused to give ground when retreat was possible. We do not understand why." Marcus gave a small smile. "Because sometimes retreat means losing more than land. Sometimes it means losing who you are." The queen nodded approvingly. "That is why I chose you." Before he could respond, the palace shook with a deep rumble. The lights flickered. The guards raised their weapons. A soldier burst into the room. "My queen! The Ravagers are testing our defenses at the western gate." The queen turned to Marcus. "Come, you must see the enemy with your own eyes." They moved quickly through the palace and out into the open air. Alien airships hovered above, their wings shining in the sunlight. In the distance, beyond the city walls, Marcus saw them, dark shapes moving through the purple forest, massive and fast. The queen raised her hand, and a small craft flew down to them. "We will get closer," she said. Marcus climbed in with her. The craft moved swiftly over the treetops. As they neared the western gate, he saw the Ravagers clearly for the first time. They were like living nightmares, skin as black as shadow, eyes burning red, claws sharp enough to cut stone. The alien soldiers fired beams of light from the walls, forcing the creatures to stay back. But Marcus could see they were testing. The defense is looking for weakness. "They will attack in full soon," the queen said. "They do not fear death, but they fear leaders who inspire resistance. That is why I must protect you. Marcus turned to her. Protect me. I thought I was here to help protect you, the queen smiled faintly. It is the same thing. They returned to the palace after the creatures withdrew. Marcus felt uneasy. He knew the Ravagers would come again, and next time they might not. Stop at the gate. That evening, the queen took him to a high balcony. The city stretched out below, towers of crystal, glowing streets and rivers that reflected the alien moonlight. When I said I need you, she began, it was not just for your skill as a warrior. My people have lost hope. If they see you fight beside us, if they see a human standing against the Ravagers, they will believe we can win. Marcus looked out over the city. What if I fail? Then we fall, she said simply. But if you succeed, we rise. He felt the weight of her words. It was more than just a mission now. It was the fate of an entire civilization. The queen held out her hand. Will you stand with us? Marcus took a deep breath, then placed his hand in hers. I'll stand, but I need to know everything. Your strengths, your weaknesses, and your enemy's mind. The queen's eyes glowed brighter. Then tomorrow, we begin your training in our ways. You will learn not only how we fight, but how we think. Marcus nodded. He could already feel a strange bond forming between them, not of romance, but of trust, respect, and shared purpose. Later that night, as Marcus lay in his chamber, the glowing crystal beside him began to shine more brightly. He touched it, and once again, visions filled his mind. Battles yet to come, the Ravagers charging, the queen's voice calling his name. He woke with a start. The visions were not just warnings, they were a challenge, and Marcus was ready to face it. The morning sun filtered through the Crystal Palace windows as Marcus prepared for the first trial. The alien queen had told him this was the moment to prove his worth. The trial would test his strength, mind, and spirit, the qualities that might save her people. Marcus felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. He had faced many challenges on Earth, but these trials were unlike anything he imagined. The queen led him to a vast chamber filled with strange devices and glowing symbols. This is the Hall of Trials, she said softly. Here, you're true. Nature will be revealed. A tall figure stepped forward, the trial master, an elder alien with silver hair and deep eyes. Marcus, welcome. You will face 3 challenges. Pass them, and you will understand why we need you. Marcus nodded. I am ready. The trial master pointed to a doorway. The first challenge is strength. Many warriors have failed. Marcus stepped through the doorway into a wide arena. The walls shimmered with energy. Suddenly, huge mechanical creatures emerged, machines built to test fighters. They moved fast and struck hard. Marcus gripped his weapon tightly. A sword, forged from alien metal, light but strong. The machines attacked in waves. Marcus dodged, blocked, and countered with precise strikes. His muscles burned, but he did not stop. Each machine was different. One breathed fire, another sprayed acid, and a third tried to trap him with nets. Marcus used his training and quick thinking. When the fire machine advanced, he rolled to the side and struck its weak joint. The acid spraying machine was slower. He jumped onto its back and disabled its control panel. The final machine was the toughest. It had a shield that could block anything. Marcus studied it carefully. He waited for an opening, then aimed for the power source beneath the shield. With a strong blow, the machine collapsed. The arena doors opened. The trial master awaited him. You have strength, human warrior. Few last this long. Marcus wiped sweat from his brow. Thank you. Next was the test of intelligence. Marcus entered a chamber filled with puzzles and strange symbols. The walls shifted and changed. He realized this was a test of his mind, to solve riddles and find the right path. The first puzzle was a glowing cube with symbols on each side. Marcus turned it, matching patterns until the cube clicked and opened, revealing a key. Deeper. In the chamber, he found locked doors and coded messages. He used logic and memory, remembering the alien language he had briefly studied. Time was limited, but Marcus stayed calm. Suddenly, the chamber began to fill with water. He had to think, fast. He found a valve, turned it, and stopped the water from rising. The final door opened. Outside, the trial master awaited again. Your mind is sharp. You do not give up under pressure. Marcus nodded. I am learning. The last challenge was the most difficult. A test of spirit. The queen led him to a quiet garden filled with glowing flowers and soft light. There was no weapon or puzzle here, only silence. You must face your fears, she said. Close your eyes. Marcus did as she said. Suddenly, images appeared in his mind, memories of battles, lost friends, and failures. He felt fear, anger, and sadness. The shadows of doubt tried to pull him down, but Marcus held on. He remembered why he fought, for Earth, for his team, and now for this alien world. He breathed deeply and let go of his fears. Light filled the garden. When he opened his eyes, the queen smiled. You have passed, Marcus. Your strength, mind, and spirit are rare gifts. You are ready. Marcus felt a new power inside him. He was no longer just a soldier. He was a symbol of hope. The queen took his hand. Now, we prepare for war. The Ravagers will return stronger than before, but with you, we stand a chance. Marcus looked out over the alien land. The trees swayed, the sky glowed, and somewhere beyond the horizon, danger waited. But he was ready. The sky darkened as storm clouds gathered over the alien city. Marcus stood beside the alien queen on the palace balcony, watching the horizon where the forest met the Rocky Mountains. The peaceful world he had first seen was now filled with tension and fear. The Ravagers grow stronger, the queen said, her voice steady but filled with worry. We have learned more about them. They are not just beasts, they are part of a larger force. A conqueror leads them. Marcus frowned. A leader? Who is this conqueror? The queen's eyes glowed softly. He is called Zalthor, a warlord from beyond our galaxy. He commands the Ravagers with cruel power. His goal is to enslave our people and destroy anyone who stands in his way, including Earth. Marcus's heart quickened. The threat was bigger than he imagined. This was not just a fight to save one planet. It was a war that could spread to many worlds. The queen turned and led Marcus to the war room. It was filled with alien commanders, studying star maps and battle plans. Holograms of ships and armies floated in the air. One commander stepped forward. Marcus, your arrival has inspired hope. Our scouts report that Zalthor's forces are moving closer. We must strike before they reach the city. Marcus studied the maps. The Ravagers were advancing through narrow mountain passes. If they controlled these paths, they could attack the city from many directions. I suggest a surprise attack, Marcus said. We use small, fast teams to strike their camps and slow them down. The commanders looked surprised, but nodded. The queen smiled. Your strategy shows your human strength, thinking outside our usual ways. Preparation began immediately. Marcus trained alien soldiers in new tactics. They learned to move quietly, strike fast, and retreat before the enemy could respond. The alien warriors admired his leadership and courage. Days passed quickly. The air was filled with the sounds of forging weapons, studying maps, and quiet. Prayers for victory. Marcus felt the weight of responsibility, but also the growing bond with the alien people. One evening, as Marcus walked near the city walls, he saw children playing with strange glowing balls. Their laughter was a reminder of what they fought for, peace and life. Suddenly, alarms rang out. The ground shook with heavy steps. The Ravagers had arrived. From the mountain passes came a massive wave of dark figures. Their red eyes glowed with hatred and hunger for destruction. The alien soldiers rushed to their battle stations. Marcus stood with the Queen as the first line of defense held firm. Energy shields shimmered, and beams of light cut through the air. But the Ravagers were relentless. Zalthor appeared on the battlefield, riding a massive beast taller than a building. His armor was black and covered with spikes. He raised a dark sword that crackled with energy. "Aliens and human," he shouted, his voice like thunder. "You will bow to me or be destroyed." The Queen stepped forward, her voice calm but strong. "We will never bow to a tyrant." The battle was fierce. Marcus led a squad to attack the Ravager camps from behind. They moved silently through the forest, disabling weapons and freeing prisoners. Marcus fought with skill and fury. His sword flashed in the moonlight as he struck down enemies twice his size. The alien soldiers fought bravely beside him, their hope renewed by his presence. But the Ravagers were many. Slowly, they pushed the defenders back. During the battle, Marcus was separated from his team. Surrounded by Ravagers, he prepared to fight alone. Just then, a group of alien warriors appeared, saving him. "We trust you, Marcus," their leader said. "Together we fight." Marcus smiled, feeling the bond between human and alien grow stronger. They fought as one. After hours of fighting, the Ravagers withdrew. The city was safe, but the cost was high. Many warriors had fallen, and the city walls were damaged. The Queen met Marcus in the palace courtyard. "You have done well. You inspire my people to fight with hope." Marcus looked at the fallen warriors. "This is only the beginning. Zalthor will return stronger." The Queen nodded. "Then we must be ready." Together, Marcus felt a new determination. He was not just a warrior now. He was a leader, a symbol of unity between humans and aliens against a common enemy. As night fell, the stars shone above the battle-scarred city. Marcus knew the war was far from over, but he believed in the strength of the human spirit and the power of trust, and with that belief, they would stand against the darkness. The city was quiet after the battle, but it was not peace. It was the silence of people who knew the enemy would return. The walls had been repaired as much as possible, but the scars of the fight remained. Marcus stood on the western wall, looking out toward the dark mountains where the Ravagers had disappeared. The cold wind carried the faint smell of smoke and burned metal. The alien Queen joined him, her crystal crown catching the light of the twin moons. Scouts report that Zalthor is gathering his full army, she said. This time, he will bring everything he has. Marcus nodded slowly. Then we have little time. The Queen's voice softened. There is something I must tell you. There is an ancient weapon, hidden deep in the caves of light. It is powerful. Enough to destroy the Ravager's leader, but using it will come at a terrible cost. Marcus looked at her sharply. What cost? The Queen's eyes lowered. The weapon feeds on the life force of the one who uses it. Whoever wields it will not survive. The air felt heavy. Marcus understood instantly why she was telling him. You want me to use it? I do not want you to die, she said quietly. But I cannot ask any of my people to make such a sacrifice. You are not bound by our laws or our history, and you have the courage to see it through. Marcus turned away, staring at the mountains again. The thought of giving his life didn't frighten him. He had faced death before. But this was different. This was certain death. That night, he walked through the city streets. Families gathered around fires. Children laughed and played, pretending to fight invisible Ravagers. Alien soldiers sharpened their weapons and repaired armor. Every face Marcus saw reminded him why they fought. These people were not so different from humans. They feared, they hoped, they loved. If Zalthor won, all of it would be destroyed. In the palace, Marcus found the queen alone in the garden. "I'll do it," he said, her head lifted sharply. "Are you certain?" "Yes," Marcus replied. "If it means ending this war and saving your people, then my life is worth it." The queen stepped closer. "Then we will go together to the Caves of Light. You will not face this path alone." They left before dawn with a small group of trusted guards. The journey was dangerous. The forest was thick with strange creatures, and the ground was uneven with sharp rocks. But Marcus moved forward without hesitation. After a full day's travel, they reached the entrance to the caves. The walls glowed faintly, and the air hummed with an energy Marcus had never felt before. Inside, they walked through tunnels lined with crystal pillars. The light grew brighter as they went deeper. Finally, they entered a vast chamber. At the center stood the weapon, a long staff with a blade at one end, glowing with white fire. It floated in the air, untouched. Marcus stepped forward, but the queen placed a hand on his arm. "Once you touch it, there is no turning back. The weapon will bind to you until it takes your life." Marcus looked at her, then at the weapon. "Then let's finish this." He reached out and grabbed the staff. A burst of light filled the chamber. Energy surged through his body, burning and freezing at the same time. Images of the coming battle flashed in his mind. The Ravagers, charging, the queen in danger, Zalthor's dark eyes. The queen's voice broke through the visions. "Marcus, your courage will be remembered for generations." They returned to the city just as news arrived. Zalthor's army was marching. The final battle was about to begin. Marcus stood before the alien soldiers, the glowing weapon in his hands. "Today, we fight not for survival alone, but for the right to live free. We fight for each other, and we fight to win." The soldiers roared in agreement. The enemy came like a black tide, their numbers greater than before. The sky darkened with warships, and the ground shook under the Ravagers' march. Marcus charged at the front line, the weapon cutting through the enemy with blinding light. Each strike sent waves of energy that tore through the Ravagers, forcing them back. Zalthor spotted him and roared in rage. The warlord rode forward, swinging his dark sword. The two clashed in a storm of light and shadow. Marcus fought with everything he had, the weapon feeding on his life force with every strike. His strength began to fade, but he pressed on. He thought of the queen, the children, the city, and kept fighting. With a final burst of energy, Marcus drove the glowing blade through Zalthor's armor. Light exploded, and the warlord fell with a cry that shook the battlefield. The Ravagers broke and fled, their leader gone. Marcus dropped to his knees, the weapon slipping from his hands. His vision blurred, but he saw the queen running toward him. "You did it," she whispered, holding him. "You saved us." Marcus smiled faintly. Then, it was worth it. His eyes closed and the weapon's glow faded. The battlefield was silent except for the sound of the wind. The battlefield was quiet now. The dark clouds that had covered the sky began to part, letting soft sunlight fall on the city once more. The Ravagers were gone, and their terrible leader, Zalthor, was no more. But the victory came at a great cost. The alien queen stood beside Marcus's still body in the palace courtyard. Around them, thousands of aliens and human soldiers gathered in silence. Their faces showed sorrow and respect. Marcus, the human warrior who had saved their world, had given his life. The queen knelt down and gently touched his hand. Her eyes, glowing with tears, looked toward the sky. "You were more than a warrior. You were hope itself. Your courage brought us through the darkest hour." The people began to light candles and place flowers around Marcus's body. His story was already becoming legend, a symbol of unity between human and alien. One of the alien elders stepped forward and spoke. Marcus showed us what it means to fight not for hate, but for love. He taught us that strength is more than power. It is the will to protect others. The Queen raised her voice so everyone could hear. Today, we honor Marcus. We promise to remember him always. His spirit will guide us as we rebuild and look to the future. The city began to heal. Alien engineers repaired the walls, and farmers worked to restore the fields. Children played freely in the streets again, their laughter a sign that peace was returning. In the days that followed, the Queen invited Marcus's closest human teammates to stay on the planet. "We are one people now," she said. "Together, we will protect our worlds from any threat." Marcus's team accepted, knowing their mission had changed. They were no longer just explorers. They were ambassadors of peace and strength. The Queen often visited the place where Marcus had fallen. She planted a tall crystal tree there, a symbol of life and hope. Its leaves shimmered with colors that seemed to sing in the wind. One evening, as the twin moons rose, the Queen stood beneath the tree and spoke quietly. "You are with us always, Marcus. Your light will never fade." Far above, in the starry sky, a new ship left Earth, carrying more humans to join the alien world. The story of the human warrior had spread through the galaxy, inspiring others to believe in courage, sacrifice, and friendship. Marcus's sacrifice had shown the universe that humans were more than just survivors. They were heroes, fighters, for what is right, even when the cost is high. And as the new dawn rose over the alien planet, hope burned brighter than ever.